Hey guys, welcome to our fourth C programming tutorial. In the last tutorial we worked with integers. We declared them and used them in some operations and addition and subtraction operations, and I encouraged you to try to multiply and divide them and see what happened. So in this tutorial, that's how we're going to start off. We're going to do some multiplication and division with integers and see what that results in. So to do that, I need some integers. I'm going to do int a, b, c. And this is declared differently than how we've declared them in previous videos. If you're going to declare if you're going to declare more than one of the same data type, so in this case integers, you don't have to say int a, new line, int b, new line, int c. You can just declare them as int a, b, c, semicolon, and that saves you time and space, and that's just as valid. So let's set the values to these. We'll say a equals, well actually let's not set a value to a. Instead let's set b equal to 5 and c equal to 2. Yeah, do 2. So the first thing that we should do is say a equals to c times b, and then a print statement, print f, %, and then the specifier for integer. I may have forgotten to specify in the last video, but the specifier for an integer is always going to be %d or %i. I always use %d. This will never change. Whenever you want to print an integer, put %d in quotation marks, and then afterward, comma, and specify which integer you'd like to print. Don't forget your semicolon. So let's go ahead, close this last console window. Let's go ahead and run this and see what we get. A equals 2 times 5, which is 10. No surprise there. So let's do a different operation. What if we divided them? So this is 2 divided by 5. We should get a decimal point. But we get nothing. Why is this? Well, when you work with integers, all your operations will result in a whole number. So if it's 0 point something, all that will be printed is a 0, because that's all that can be stored in an integer. If we do modulus, it'll print the remainder of that division. So if we do modulus, we should get 2. And sure enough, 2. The reason we get 2 is because if you were to divide C and B, or 2 and 5, if you think back to like elementary school, you would write this as a mixed number as 0 and 2/5. So the remainder is 2. If we went to 3, it would also go to 3, since the remainder is 3/5. Now let's change C to 10. Oop. Build and run. And we get 0. So there's no remainder in this division because B goes into C evenly. If we change our modulus to a division sign, we should get 2, because 5 goes into 10 2 times. And sure enough, we get 2. Okay, so that's all well and good. Division and modulus and multiplication. What if we want to use operations where we can see the decimal though? Well, we'll need to work with doubles. So I'm going to erase everything above the print statement, and I'm just going to say double A. And now I want double A to equal 9.0 divided by 5.0. We need to change the specifier in the print statement, since this won't work. This is for an integer. So we need to make it a double specifier, or a specifier that'll work for a double. So change the D to F. We'll build this and run it, and we get 1.8000 and so on. Now this is cool. But what if we don't want all these zeros? I mean, all that's really relevant is the 1.8. we can change the output or reformat the output. So after the percent, but before the F, I want you to type 0.1. This says I want the answer to the first decimal, or the first number after the decimal. If we print this, we get 8.1. If you want the second number, 0.2. Build and run. You get 1.80. Okay, so now the third numeric data type we're going to work with is called float. This specifier is okay for float, so we can keep it. But let's change this to a division with random decimals in it. So do points like 4 or 5 decimals divided by 0.45 decimals. Go ahead and remove this decimal spot and print it. And you'll see that this shows up to the 4 or 5 decimal places. Okay, 2 doubles, double A, and then we'll have one more, comma B, and an integer C. What will happen if A equals 8.1, B equals 3.9, and we want to store this operation in C, and then print C. Can we do this? If we build it and run it, we can, and we end up getting 2, but just 2. Even though this results in an integer, or results in a decimal, only the whole number will be printed, since C is an integer and this value is stored as an integer. So with that, I'd encourage you to play around with the different numeric data types, see what combinations work, which combinations give you errors. The next video I make, we will do a project with operations and different data types, probably some kind of unit conversion thing. So with that, I'll see you guys later.